Would you please take your shoes off?
Well, are you being kidding me? Are you kidding right now?
No.
You being real? Where am I going?
You're that chair with the white headphones.
This one right here?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there a video attached? That video?
Yeah.
Okay. What is this podcast about? You know what I need right now immediately is some sort of caffeine.
Scoot doo, blabbity blue, scoop dee. Oh yeah!
I didn't say anything. Yeah. I'm not saying anything. Wait, is it on?
Yeah, it's loud as shit in mine.
Yeah, but don't air what I've done so far.
Sure.
Just no, be real. I'm being real.
Yeah.
When are you gonna start and then that's it?
Yeah, whatever, man. Hello?
Hello.
Testing.
Yeah. What is it about you?
How do you want me to answer that?
We'll start the way you normally start it because I don't even know what this is.
Sure. Because your camera is right there. Can you see your camera?
Yeah.
You're blocking your face, your entire face. So.
With the mic?
Yeah. You have to. Now you're.
Can I say this?
Yeah.
Before we even begin? I honestly, I'm getting a weird vibe from you.
Yeah, you said that from the moment you walked, before you even walked into my place, outside, you said, what is this place? And then you said, it smells like Jew in here, and you've been...
I never said that. That's ridiculous.
Oh.
That's so ridiculous. You would say, I would say
Cut to the clip.
Never said that. I just said that it was, I've never been to a building that looks like this.
Uh-huh.
The energy was kind of like Dahmerish.
Huh.
You know? I come in here, and everything is like pristine almost, like everything, like there's no clutter. It's very like serial killery kind of in here.
Your experience is that serial killers are clean.
Yeah, you have to be kind, I think.
Because
you have to know where all the stuff is, like the scalpel, right? It depends on what kind of serial killer you are.
Yeah, that sounds almost like a surgeon.
No. The kind of serial killers I'm into are like the ones that are like that, you know, make it their own. Like, they have a voice. They have a voice.
Are you talking? Yeah, that's how I feel about like artists and comedians.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So like sometimes you'll see an artist and go, you know, Basquiat. Wow, I know. You know, it's got like a city vibe to it. You know.
No, I don't know.
Basquiat. It's very like graffiti based, but it's also, you know, just his stuff. But my point is that serial killers have the same thing. Like Ed Gein. You know, he liked skin.
I don't know serial killers. But it does make sense.
Wait, let me ask you something.
Yeah.
You don't know who Ed Gein is?
No.
Why are you smiling?
Because I've been conditioned. The way you're talking to me is you. I know something you don't know. It's crazy you don't know it. So I'm now put in a place of like, oh, I don't. But also I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't. Right. I don't know almost any of the things.
Right.
You know, I know 8 things so well.
Right. Yeah. You know what? I mean, in many ways, I'm that way too. So there's a lot of things that I do know, right? Maybe 8 things I know, 10 things.
Yeah.
But there's a billion things I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
And you know what, dude?
But can I tell you about Ed Gein before we even move on?
Yeah.
Here's why I think you should know who he is, though. Is because you wouldn't have great movies without him. Like Silence of the Lambs.
Oh.
Because Buffalo Bill, and I guess even Hannibal Lecter was based on Ed Gein. Okay. Yeah, this is this energy, and it's weird. What's going on with you right now?
The way that I have this set up is for watching television, not for watching to the right of the television.
Well, so have you had guests before?
Yeah, I've done.
And they sit here?
It's always like this. I'm always playing with it. I just got a third camera.
Yeah.
So now I brought you a little bit closer.
Right.
And I'm just, listen, I'm not a comfortable person by default. So I try to make everything around me, my apartment, the clothes I wear, the people I'm around, usually, I try to find the most comfortable things to survive in that.
Right.
And I think you're watching me in a moment of looking a little bit to the right, and that's weird for you.
I get it. But I just feel like you and I have had a troubled past.
Oh, you're one of my favorite people.
I know you're one of my favorite.
I didn't know that.
I didn't either.
Oh, you just realized it?
No, I just feel like that there is some trouble.
Could you expand on that?
Yeah, I think that you and I have the kind of relationship. I don't know why it's.
I'm going to cut you off real quick.
Okay.
I want to let you know that during this, to show you how engaged I am, I've learned that I'm supposed to make noises that I've been listening. So I just want you to know that's what I'll be practicing right now. So go ahead.
Okay. I don't know what you mean, but let's just. I'll just figure it out as we go on.
Mm-hmm.
So you and I, we don't have a normal relationship.
Right.
Yeah, like there's definitely a power, a shift in power. Like for instance, you call me about things. It's never about like, hey, let's do something together. It's like, hey, let's do this YouTube thing together.
You are projecting, my friend. First of all, the first time I've ever talked to you on the phone was today when you called me because you were running late. The last text I sent you was seeing if you wanted to go to Mendocino Farms.
Right.
I've asked you to do.
But that's where you do your thing.
What is my thing?
That's one of your power locations.
What's the power location?
Because every time I go to Mendocino Farms, you're there.
Because I like to be comfortable. I found a restaurant that caters to my needs.
Right.
So I go there all the time.
Yeah, but when I go there, they're like, oh, Rick was just here. Or Rick and David, or that John Booze Booms. What's his name?
John Booze Booms.
Yeah, John Booze Booms were here.
Who says that I was there?
That bald, kind of Andre Agassi haircut, kind of bald white guy.
I don't know anything about this.
I know, but he's like...
He probably just saw you playing with me once.
Fuckner? You know what he said to me?
What'd he say?
He goes, you should do Rick's podcast.
Swear to God?
I swear to fucking God. And I go, well, how many numbers does it get?
Not
he
many.
goes, it's still great, though.
Did he really say that? That makes me feel
like
so
that.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he listens to my podcast. He knows about my podcast.
Well, then why are you acting like you don't even know what I'm talking about right now?
It's not a power move. He just knows about my podcast.
Right, but my point
I'm there every day.
You don't invite me to a place of a power location.
What's a power location?
Mendocino Farms.
I got to tell you, here's where I am. I don't know where the bit is, which means it feels real. And because not only is it real, I'm so disconnected from the reality of it. I don't know, do I want to better understand it or try and...
What are you talking about right now?
I don't know what
the fuck are you talking about right now?
I don't know what it is you're talking... You're talking about a troubled past, which I'm like, I'll play ball.
No, there is no troubled past. You know? But here's the thing. I think we should start over.
All right.
Honestly, let's start it over.
All right, I'll have you... Can you enter?
Yeah, because it right now, I just feel like...
I get it. I feel the same.
No, because you have no format.
I do.
All right, let's start from the top. Oh, God. It's a Monday, it's my day off.
That's Bobby, you all right? What are you acting like this for?
I'm trying too hard.
All right.
You're absolutely right.
Do you want to sit here?
No,
I already put your jacket.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks for having me. I'm really grateful.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. We're good. Thanks for having me. I'm really looking forward to this.
Yeah, could you hear it in the headphones okay?
I love it. Thank you.
All right, Bobby, thanks for coming to the apartment. What do you think of the place so far?
I love it. You know what it is?
Tell me.
It reads you.
It reads...
You.
Yeah?
Yeah,
How so?
when I walk in here, I go, this is Rick Glassman's house.
Glassman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's got your style, you know, you got little framed wood. You know, it's great. And the thing is this, too. Is,
Tell me.
I've always loved you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, really. And our friendship is built on just real good foundation.
I think the exact opposite. I think that I love you, and our relationship is built on nothing sturdy. I think that one of us is a lie rumor away from hating each other.
I know. Why is it like that?
I'll tell you why.
Why?
It's like this because I don't think you have many strong foundations in your life. Because
that's so fucking rude. Oh my fucking God. You pull me aside, right? This is bullshit. You pull me aside and you go, come on, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm just messing with you, man.
And I come in and then I try to reset.
Yeah, I was just joking.
And I come here and then this is what you do. And that's why I was acting like that in the beginning.
I'm sorry.
Because that's you fuck.
You know what? I took advantage of a reset.
Right. Let's just be normal, dude.
I would love that. That's what I wanted for
having
this
me
podcast.
Here. I love Mendocino Farms. I love this area.
Shout out to Mendocino Farms, by the way.
It's a great place. It really is a great place.
As a sponsor.
Why do you like that place?
They have the Impossible Taco Salad. I like to eat vegan.
Yeah.
But, ew.
Right.
Delicious.
You know what I like about it is that the quality of ingredients. Like I'll go to. You know what has a Greenblatt's too.
I had it last night.
Greenblatt's has quality ingredients.
Love it.
I've never seen a lettuce there that's brown or have any.
Not that there's anything wrong with brown lettuce.
They have every right to be. They're equal as white lettuce.
Green.
Whatever. You know what I mean? They're all equal, but I prefer white lettuce, like fresher lettuce. What's wrong? Okay. So anyway, that's why I like that. And they have lemonades, a variety of different kinds.
You turned me on.
Okay.
You turned me on to their matzo ball soup.
Oh, you mean at Greenblatt's?
I've always loved matzo ball soup, but I never rate.
Right.
And you told me that was the best. And every time I go there, I get an MBS.
It's a really good place. And you know what? It's also, I was there with my girlfriend last night, and it reminds me of, I love going to comedy because I like going to the Laugh Factory or the Comedy Store, and then going to the Greenblatt's with comics late at night. They're memorable nights I've had.
Yeah.
Doing that.
I used to go to Dupar's a lot with you. Not Dupar's, 101.
That's right.
Yeah.
We used to go there a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two things. One, I forgot to go when you mentioned your girlfriend, and that's kind of one of the games of the podcast. Whenever anyone mentions that they have a girlfriend, well, I've never done that before, but that's something I'm going to want to be doing. So just so you know. And two, are you okay, man?
No, just something in my throat. Chest throat.
Fuck, man.
Go ahead. And?
Oh, I just wanted to tell a story about when we went to a diner together. That is something that has been kind of, I think about actually a lot of the time. I thought about it a couple days ago, and I think about it sometimes. And I want to tell you, see if you remember. But before I do, I want to acknowledge that I thought you were joking around before. The energy right now isn't a bad thing. I'm not familiar with it. So I don't feel safe.
It's so fucking funny because the energy is definitely coming from you.
Yeah? Tell me about it. I lack a lot of awareness.
I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Because when I go into places, like I was just at Tom Segura's with Christine, his wife. My girlfriend did it too. Yeah. And then when I go there, it's like, oh, I feel like I'm at home. Right? I'll go to like Theo Vaughn's or, all those other ones. It feels different than this one.
I'm so disappointed. I feel like my place is such a warm blankets, pillows, orchids.
No,
I have the lights on in the living room, so it's kind of a studio feel in this little section.
But here's the thing is that, did you know that, I grew up in a Korean household.
Yes.
And when I was living there, this Korean household with my parents, my friends would go, dude, your fucking place smells like an Okinawa fish market. Like, how do you even know what an Okinawa, whatever, they've been to Okinawa. They never do. You have?
I haven't, but
okay.
I get it.
You can imagine.
Yes.
But I couldn't, and then I went away for the summer once, and I came home, and then I was able to smell.
Yeah, you're saying that I'm
But the reason why
desensitized.
we were so used to our
Of course.
Because the reason why is because we have to condition ourselves to smell something different.
Jesus,
I don't know.
Worst lawyer.
I know. I don't know what that means, but my point is that when I came in here, there's a smell here.
Really?
That you're used to that I've never smelled before in my life.
Whenever anyone comes over, they always tell me
they're lying.
How nice my place smells.
Lying.
Unsolicited.
Completely fucking lying.
I have potpourri and
there's no potpourri in here.
I'll show you where.
I'm sure you own it, but it's not open and lit.
Listen,
or whatever.
you're not a crazy person. These thoughts you're having are obviously real, and I apologize that I didn't make you feel as comfortable as I would have liked to have. Thank you so much for coming, though. By the way, Bobby. Fuck, I can't post this.
Yeah, you can.
This is gonna be trash.
It's great. This is great already. That's why we're doing it like this.
Okay, this is breaking. Normally, it's.
Well, how does it normally go?
Well, I'm not attacked. But you know what? That's bullshit. That's bullshit to say that. That's bullshit.
You know what? All right.
That's bullshit of me to say that. I don't want to put that on you. I'm sorry.
Honestly, I feel weird about the whole thing too.
Uh-huh.
And literally, I'm being real. Let's just start over.
Start over.
But I'm being real though. And don't bring up. So let's no. Let's talk about the rules real quick though. Okay. No, I'm being real.
Yeah. Of course.
So what is the rule?
All right. Well,
here's what I think. I feel like what's going on right now is that people don't know that what our banter
Yes,
is like.
that makes
This is the
sense.
way we
Actually,
are,
great,
right?
great call.
So, let's just start as if we don't really know each other that well. I think that's a good.
All right, here's what I'd like to suggest.
What? Go ahead.
Why don't we, for the first few minutes, just do a basic, let me ask you a couple questions,
All right.
interview,
Yeah, you're right,
and then organically, where the bits and the
you're
stories
you're
may
right.
come.
You're right.
All right, here.
All right, yeah. We don't have to stand up. That's not stand up, though. Great place, man.
Thanks, man. I'm excited to have you.
Yeah, I just feel at home here, man.
Good.
It smells like home.
Yeah, I like to have a homey vibe. My father sells area rugs. Shout out to Marshall Carpet One in Northeast Ohio. So I have a lot of rugs and pillows and.
Really nice touch.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, it's like a showroom.
All right. Yeah. Well, I have the lights for the podcast. Maybe that's why you feel that way.
No, I feel like I'm in like an IKEA showroom.
Bobby, what does real people mean? Your shirt says real people.
It's
Is it a brand?
No. There's people that are real, and then there are people that deal with fishing equipment, and this is those people.
Oh, that's spelt the other way. I'm not good at with spelling.
Yeah.
Because
I don't know what the shirt means. I bought it at a thrift store.
Sure.
Sometimes I'll go to a thrift store or like a used clothing store, and I'll just pile through it, and it's not really necessarily they're just shirts that kind of pop out at me. I like fonts, like 70s fonts.
Yeah.
And I just like the shirt, it's really nice. Thanks for having me.
They say people love the font of the decade they were born in.
You
Now, what does that mean in Korean?
fucking idiot, man. Man, this is great. Here's the thing, dude, with you, is you really are, and I'm not lying, you're an enigma. You really are. You are.
How so?
Because I'll tell you why.
I like you so much, so I hope this is nice.
It is super nice.
Good.
And I'll tell people these stories about you, right? But like,
you're covering your face with the microphone.
oh my god.
No.
I know. Stop. You're ruining it. You're fucking this whole thing up. I wanted to come here so bad. I like you so much, but it's not working. I have throat polyps because I'm so angry.
What?
Because I want to start over again.
We haven't even started this
it's driving
one
me
yet.
fucking crazy. This thing. Just talk about Game of Thrones or something. Let's get into something.
Well, tell me how I'm an enigma. If it's nice, I want to hear it.
Well, because statistically, this is what I heard a long time ago, that you have to go on 632 auditions to get one thing. Those are that's a statistic I heard.
Okay.
When it comes to acting and stuff, right?
Sure.
The second thing that you read for, you booked, right?
Well, I tested for the first two things. because-
Right. So you tested for the first two things that you read for,
Yeah.
which is and then you got the second thing. Yeah.
That's not. That's just I got super lucky.
No, that's not luck. That's not what it is. That's what it is. Is that you don't know, and you're like a child, and you go in there and you go, you know what? I don't know how any of this works. There are certain rules and this and that, but I don't even know what those are. So I'm just gonna be who I am, and I am going to just go in and do what I do. Whereas when I read, I know what's at stake, and that's what fucks me up. Like I go, I have to get this because if I get this, so and so's in it and they can do this for me, this, you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden there's all this pressure. I need the money or whatever it might be. But you didn't have that. You were like one of those guys that came here, the first two things that I read for, I got pretty fucking far, and that's incredible.
Thanks, man.
It shows, and here's the thing with you're very also persistent. You are, and you have a Kaufman-esque vibe about you,
I've gotten that a lot.
where it's like there is an anti-performance thing that you have, where I'm not going to do it the way most people do it. I'm just going to be me, which is great, and that's why I'm here. I'm here. When you ask me, I go, "Yeah, I'll do Rick."
Glassman.
What's so funny? I know your last name. It takes a second.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
like Chris, I'll go Chris D'Elia.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
That's just the way I do it.
Because you're thinking of it.
Yeah. So my point is
Did you just get frustrated with me? It seems like you just got a little. You put your hands up and you.
No.
Now, what does that mean in Korean?
No. Oh my God. First of all, in terms of Korean, I know as much as you do, pretty much.
You speak it fluently?
Do you? That's not Korean.
It means I do a little bit in the heart of the soul of the ocean.
But that's Chinese, right?
It's. I learned Mandarin first, but
Right, yeah, that's what that is. What you were saying, and that's not Korean.
Okay.
You see anybody now?
I go on some. I FaceTime date.
One of your girlfriends I really liked. What was that one when you were on Undateable? There was a girl that I really liked.
I dated 2 girls while I was on Undateable.
Yeah.
Over the 3 years. One's name was Jackie.
Yeah.
One's name was Tori.
Yeah, I like Jackie.
Same.
She's cool.
She's great.
And you're not seeing anybody now.
No.
So
I'm ready for a wife, by the way.
You're welcome. So after Undateable, right? After Undateable,
Yeah.
Did you get a deal right away after that?
No.
So what did you do after Undateable?
What did I do as far as like work?
Yeah.
I did guest stars and I did a movie.
That's right.
And that's it, man. Stand up. If it weren't for stand up, it would be absolutely nothing. You know?
Well, you and I were gonna do those videos together, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I remember.
I want to do 1980s.
Yeah, it was 1980s.
A 1980s, a YouTube channel, but we're in the 1980s, and we were like, we review 1980s like technology.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
The Nintendo. And
right,
stuff.
but then weird things happen. Like I feel like we should do like a retro video where it looks like we're from the 1980s, right? And we're 2 friends from college or whatever. So we have all the, the saturated film that looks 80s. I want to have a regular show, like welcome to the show, this and that, right? But each episode something weird happens where like we find out that you're an android. You know what I mean? Or like there's a time portal that we turn a machine on.
So a sci-fi, a review
it's like a
sci-fi show.
But like crazy things happen, like people die and lasers come out of our eyes.
Yeah, that
or,
just sounds like
time
a lot
travel.
of crazy effects.
Yeah, like crazy shit. I want to do a show like that with
so
you.
pitch me one out. So here we're gonna start off and we're reviewing the Nintendo. Okay. And how's everybody doing? Welcome back to Jax and Jax, where everybody knows what they're getting.
Yeah.
My name is Jax.
Yeah, and I'm Jax.
And today we're reviewing.
But I'm Jack Yamada.
Yes.
And this is Jack
Schwartz. Lieber Schwartz. And yeah, so this Nintendo is
it's a state-of-the-art equipment, right? The capabilities, But then what? Right?
Neither one of us can get further than here's what it is. The capabilities are you couldn't even get on Endless.
Yeah. We haven't written you want to improv the fucking thing right
Well,
now?
no, so then we do that. We take a couple of statistics about it.
But then I look at it and I go, wait, this is not a Nintendo. There's like a symbol on it. Right? And we press it, you press it,
right,
and it turns into like maybe like a robot from the future.
Yeah.
Right? And it just absolutely kills you right then and there. Like it goes, right, and it hits bullets in your head.
Crazy.
Right, crazy. And you die. And then I try to finish the show.
To review the original Nintendo.
Right.
Okay.
Right, but you're dead. I mean, like, I want it to be like, you know what I mean, a sketch kind of, but like, we're doing this 80s, review show, but they all turn into something weird.
So
that's all.
A lot of stuff's going on in this sketch. It's an 80s review show where weird stuff happens and sometimes one of us dies.
Yeah, or we time travel, or it turns out that like, you have a disease, like you're the first Jew to have sickle cell anemia.
I don't know why everything is happening bad to me in all these things. What about one of us learns to what if we learn to fly or something?
Yeah, that'd be cool too.
Bobby, you have a joke where you go,
don't make fun of my stand-up.
Yeah, Frosty the Snowman.
Oh, yeah.
Will you just tell me that one real quick?
Why?
Because I was with John DeWalt today, and I told him that we were podcasting, and he did that joke, and it made me laugh so hard that I didn't remember.
Well, I don't do those jokes anymore, but it'd be a joke what my dad used to make, because he came to America, and then he had kids, and then he was like, he doesn't know about Christmas or anything. So he just tried to figure it out on his own. He probably asked 2 other Korean dudes the songs, what Santa means, and all that stuff. And so he would sing us the songs, but they would never be right. So one of them is, Frosty, he a good guy. He used to do that. Frosty is a good guy. I go, Frosty's, well, that's not how it goes. Even as a kid, we'd have to sing it with him. Frosty is a good guy, right? And then he would go, he would forget certain words that are like simple words in a song. Like he'll go jingle bell, jingle. I don't know, right? And then you're like, just say bell again. It's bell again. Ooh. Then he'll go bell, right. And then yeah. So it was those kind of jokes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You've also, I would love to talk about this if you're willing to. I'm sure you have before. Talk about your molestation as a child. I'd like to get into when you were molested as a child. No, it's a serious subject. I can understand if you don't want.
So it's like, no, I'm not gonna do it because I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Because it's a painful human experience, and you're making a mockery of it.
That's not my intention.
I know, but you know my story.
Yeah, and I heard it many times. You've talked about it on stage. I never knew it was real until years after I met you, and I found out it was real, and it made me feel so bad that I laughed at it so much.
Yeah. Well, if you want to talk about it, we can.
Yeah.
But what happened was I was living in the beautiful state of Minnesota as a kid, and we lived in a town called Edina.
Okay.
What's the matter?
Because I have nobody here helping me, I always I have the camera screen.
Yeah, can we do this next time and hire somebody?
I got to see if my show gets picked up.
What do you mean?
I have no budget for this, and I might have a television show. And if I do, I would put more money into this. In the meantime, I'm a one-man crew.
What you do is this, you fucking idiot, is this. You give them a piece of the pie.
The pie is...
Right. Sometimes the pie isn't fully baked. You can't sell it. But you're baking it now, right?
Yeah.
The pie?
Yeah.
So what you tell a young kid, like a doorman or somebody...
Right.
And you go, listen...
And have them just watch the screen? Because
I'm
that's
baking a pie, but when we start making money, I'll give you a cut of it.
But what is that person going to be doing for me? I do it all.
Because you're distracted. Like I'm talking to you, you're like looking at the cameras and looking around to see if everything is working. It's
and
like
that distracted you. I apologize. I understand. I'll have a door guy come look at the cameras. I'll look into that.
That's as simple as that, what you just did.
So you're Minnesota.
No. Okay, yeah. I was living in Minnesota. And there was... Yeah, I was a child. And there was these... open fields that during the winter there would be an ice skating rink. But during the summers, some of these places, because they're outdoors, it's just kind of like a field with like a shack with a Zamboni in it or whatever.
Right.
So by my house, we had like a field where there was like, you know, a shack where they kept that thing. But there was a man who was mentally retarded, who during the summers, I think... either mowed the lawn or he was some sort of, you know, I was a kid, so it's vague. But I know that he had some sort of Down syndrome or something. And he used to lure kids into this shack with candy. And I just remember going there more than most kids.
And would you be going by yourself?
Yeah.
And you knew other kids went because you all talked about it?
My brother, no, years later, my brother told me that it happened to him.
So you found out after. You just thought this was just for you at the time.
Well, I'm not saying it's for me like it's like it was a gift.
The candy was.
Yeah, but it was tied into...
No, I don't mean that. I'm saying...
It's devastating candy.
Right.
Right? Because you eat it, but it's sweet and delicious, but there's something devastating involved.
Right.
Which is, you know, a twisted man fingers in your butthole.
So he would say, hey, come into the shed, and he would give you like a...
That's not how he would say it.
How would he say it?
You say it. He has Down syndrome, so well, how would he say it, do you think?
Oh, I'm not sure.
No, try.
I guess they usually sound like the hearing impaired people.
Yeah, so go
don't
ahead,
know the
try. Give it a
difference.
try.
Sure. Would you like to come into the shed?
That's not how they sound.
I always do. That's
That's
do
very
deaf.
good, though.
I always do deaf.
No, yeah.
I feel like it's more. Could you say deaf anymore? By the way,
I don't think so.
you have to say hearing impaired, right?
Yeah. Or they have retarded ears. I say that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
They have
right.
midget retarded ears.
MRUs. You're supposed to say.
So no, he'd go. Oh shit! There's only 9 people listening to this thing, so fuck it, right? Don't laugh at it though, because it makes it like worse.
All right, I will try not
It
to.
makes it. And I'm being real. Like, let me do this whole thing, and I'm gonna just tell you how it worked.
That makes sense.
Okay,
That makes sense.
So,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I'd show up with a soccer ball.
Show up.
Yeah, to the field.
The first time you're there, you're at the soccer field
I'll
by
probably
yourself.
walking. No, I'll probably with some friends riding a bike.
Okay, you're riding a bike with some friends.
Yeah, the trails there.
Right. And this is where you normally ice skate. You know the area. It's summertime.
Right.
Now it's just there's trails. We're going through.
Yeah, right. So I would like zip by, and he would be out there, and he'd go, hey.
Okay. Now your
you would
friends
go, hi.
and your friends would say hi.
Yeah, we don't know who he is, but we know we're nice kids.
Right. Someone says hello.
And then maybe a couple days later, I'm there by myself. Maybe
How old?
8.
Okay.
Right. It's by my house, and so then, hey, you like candy? And then you're like, what kind?
Mm-hmm.
And you'll go, jelly beans. I go, no.
Yeah, that's not.
Right.
No one wants jelly
And then
beans.
he'd go, you like Hershey Kisses? Right?
That sounded more Mexican.
Yeah. Maybe he was Hispanic. I don't know. And I go, no. But then this is the one. And you can get me every time with this one. Fun dip. So I go, you have fun dip? Because I remember, I'll tell you why. My uncles and my dad, every time I went to 7-Eleven to get fun, like I wanted candy.
That's when the pop's in your mouth.
Right? No, it's the one where they have the stick. It's a candy stick, and you stick it in dust, like sugar dust.
Right, and the dust pops on your tongue.
No, it doesn't pop in your tongue. I don't know what kind you have.
That's like a pixie stick.
It's just a fucking stick. It's like a flat stick of candy.
Okay.
It's like, it's not clear either. It's like more grainy candy.
Okay.
You
You like
stick in
this
it-
candy.
It's the best.
Okay.
But my parents never got it for me because it's messy. So then I go, you have fun dip? So then I would go in there, right?
How would he open with jelly beans? It's kind of like a negotiation, like seeing how cheap he could get you. Because jelly beans is probably the worst offer.
No, I think he had like good ones.
Yeah, I'm saying obviously
The
fun
gourmet
dip.
ones. Like the jelly bean.
Good
belly.
jelly beans.
Jelly belly kind.
Well, to me, anyway, go
Anyway,
on.
it's weird, ridiculous what you're saying. But so then I go, but I knew that there was like, you know one's gonna give you no free fun dip without like some exchange.
You knew that at 8.
Maybe I learned it then. I learned the hard way. But I think he said, look at this. And he showed me something that it wasn't candy. It didn't resemble candy in any kind of way. It resembled a retarded man's penis. Yeah.
Okay.
So he goes, look at this. And I looked at it. And like I'm like, I don't know what to do with that. You know what I mean? What would you, when you've never seen, you've never even seen a human being.
You didn't. I grew up seeing my dad's penis.
Maybe my dad's, but if that's and my own, and maybe my brother Steve's penis by accident, you know. But when you haven't seen like
by accident,
number
man.
one, I've never seen a white man's penis.
At this point, or
Yeah,
to
in
this-
my life,
to
and
this
then
day.
let alone, I've seen millions of them.
Yeah, okay.
And then back then, it's also I've never seen a Down syndrome penis.
I don't think a Down syndrome penis is any different than a typical person's penis.
I think it is.
I'm gonna look that.
No,
up.
don't look it up. I think we're gonna get in trouble for this podcast for even talking like this.
Well, let's not say we.
You think I am?
I don't think you're gonna get in trouble for it. I have an interesting relationship with that word,
What's your word?
the R word, where
It's a bad word.
yeah, But
Okay,
also,
it
but,
is a bad word.
But you can't deny it's a bad word. There's something funny about that word. It makes me laugh, and it's like, what am I gonna do?
You know, the times are changing.
Yes.
And I'm willing to go along with the times. Let me say this. I'm going to say this before I say anything else from here on out.
Uh-huh.
I need to say this first.
Okay.
Is I literally believe that I don't have any hateful feelings about anybody.
Yeah.
I really do. I honestly don't. When I go on the road, I use a lot of colors. I use a lot of genders, and I use a lot of sexual preferences.
Words.
No, I use people that are either black women, or a combination of the two, a black woman, or they might have, they might be lesbian or gay. I don't know. I don't care about it.
Right.
I'll be your friend if you're a little person, or you happen to be mentally handicapped.
Sure.
But as a comedian, I refuse to not say certain words. I mean, it's like, it's a part of my toolbox. It's like, when Lenny Bruce went to prison all those years and went to jail all the time for swearing.
Yeah.
For exercising his right.
Yeah.
As an American, to say whatever he wants to fucking say.
The problem to me is less about the intention and more about the confusion with it and things taken out of context, people recording certain things or blaming people for certain things. But
not only that,
the stage extends to a podcast, though.
Yeah. When you make laws, that hurt other people, that's when you get into dangerous places. Like, for instance, the abortion law in, was it Louisiana? Where was it at? Arkansas? Where was it at? Alabama, right? I think that's worse than any word that you can use, because you're literally taking away the rights of women, right?
Yeah, but also, he gave you the fun dip.
What do you mean?
The Down syndrome.
Yeah.
Boy, man.
That's another thing. Is like I've talked about it on stage, and I've had mothers come up to me and goes, "How can you talk about people with Down syndrome when my son has Down syndrome?" Right? And then I'm like, yeah, but the joke is about this guy molesting me, right?
Yeah.
It's like, you shouldn't say it then. You should say retard or anything. Say
what?
What?
Oh, she's saying that if you class this man as having Down syndrome, now you're saying that Down syndrome people equate to molestation.
It's not even that. They'll just hear Down syndrome.
Yeah, trigger words.
Just tell me, trigger word, and just say, don't ever even talk about them. And it's like, no, I won't.
Of course.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
But also, it's just you and me here. You could tell me.
I understand, but I know that people listen to this, and I've lost money because of things that I've said on here.
Do you want me to bleep every? Do you want me to let you listen to it and tell me what words to bleep?
No. I think I'm fine right now so far.
Yeah, but I do want to get the rest of the story, because I know some of this, but we haven't finished telling it.
What?
So the only thing that happened so far is he gave you fun dip and showed you his penis.
Right. That's what I'm going to get to with you. Is that I don't know what version you've heard. But I've, since the last time I've talked about it, I've talked to my brother a couple of times and some other people.
You know more information
about specifics. Things. So I don't want to embellish the story, so I'm just trying to tell you exactly the way I think how it happened. And I went back there 2 or 3 more times. I think I jerked him off once. I think he told me to pull mine out to jerk off in front of some magazines he had. And then I don't think I ever sucked his penis, or I don't think he entered me in any kind of way, but it was weird. And it was a part of the beginning of my addiction toward anything. Like, right 5 years after that, I went to my first drug rehab, right? So
at 12.
Right. So I'm just the type of guy that, like, if I want something, I'll do whatever it takes to get it.
Are you saying because like what you did with the fun dip?
Right. So it's like I wanted that candy, and I was willing to put my body through anything.
Now, is that what you
to
equate
get it.
drugs with? You want that
I'm the
high,
same with,
so
with
you'll...
drugs. With drugs, when I was addicted to drugs, well, I'm still addicted, you know.
Right. You're sober, right?
Yeah, I've been sober for 17 years. But when I want a drug, if I'm actively using, I would suck a dick to get it if I had no money. You know what I mean? I would fuck an old lady to get it if I had no money. So I'm just saying that
It's interesting
my
that we always say
behavior-
suck a dick and never eat a vagina or make out with a girl or finger a girl, you know? I just think it's interesting that people, when they're talking about the worst case scenario, you even said when it was a woman, you made her very, very old. You know, like these are the worst case scenarios.
Yeah.
But you're not talking about getting fucked or fucking. It's always sucking a dick.
because
I'd
those
suck
things-
a dick for a coffee right now. Why is that the one?
because I would have sex anytime with anybody.
No,
You know what I mean? I don't need for when it comes. It doesn't make any sense what you're saying. Because why would I say, oh yeah, I would.
why wouldn't you say I
Like,
would?
for that jacket, I would fuck Natalie Portman.
No.
It's like, why would you say? Yeah,
No.
I would fuck Natalie Portman without the jacket.
But why does it have to be sucking a dick? There's so many other
Because
things.
that's the worst thing to do.
I mean, I don't think sucking a dick is a bad thing. I think whatever your choices are
No,
fine.
no.
Bobby, I can't believe that you think that that's a horrible thing.
No, what I'm saying. Let me ask.
Maybe we should talk about something else.
Let me tell you something right now. All right, I have sucked dick
Okay.
in real life.
What for?
I'm not going to tell you why. Okay, so and I'm heterosexual. All right, that's how open I am.
Right.
Okay, don't wink at me, dude.
I winked
And
back.
let me ask you something. Have you ever sucked a penis
I haven't. I've jerked off with guy. I've masturbated.
with a guy?
I've masturbated myself, and when I do it, I sincerely look at myself and think like,
No,
yeah.
you said that you masturbate with another guy.
No, I've never masturbated with another guy.
Ever.
Not that I'm
Have you
aware
ever been
of.
in a room with another man while you're making love to a woman?
Yes.
And you made love to the same woman?
What do you mean I made love to the same woman?
Have you ever had two guys and one girl kind of a situation?
Oh no! Just in college, I had friends that were sleeping on my floor when I hooked up with a girl, but they were asleep.
Oh yeah, that's fine. That's different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'll tell you something.
Tell you something.
Sometimes.
I'm gonna get a cup. Wait, let me drink a coffee.
Okay.
I think that's what's missing.
Okay.
How do you think this is going?
I think that you're a star. This format is still. This is still tough. I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to be doing.
That's exact. Listen, I have one. You know I have one.
Yeah.
And there are times where I push pause. And I'll push pause. Not when there's a guest, but especially during the solos. I go, stop. We're going nowhere. What the fuck are we doing here? We're lost.
Right.
It's a tough thing to do, but I promise you this: the one we're gonna keep going, but what you have so far is fun.
Great.
Because it's weird. There's a lot of different things going on. You know, we start. You're gonna use all the ones that we started, right? And then stop. I think you should do that.
I'm good with narrative. I'll chop. I'll find the beats. Why would you do that to me?
Fucking asshole.
Why would you hit me like that?
Fuck you.
The thing is, we've gotten physical before.
I know we have. You fucking fuck.
And whenever we get physical, you always you act as if I take it too far
Yeah.
when you set the rules.
Because you're a big guy. I'm little. And I'm old. It's weird. If I go 80%, you should go 10.
But I don't have that in me.
Yeah, you do.
I don't. I've actually gotten kicked out of a lot of things for that very reason.
I feel like you're Jewish, right?
Thank you
You're
for
welcome.
not knowing, but yes. Do you want me to get you either dental floss or a napkin
No.
or a towel for your
Yeah, I
hand?
like taking the stuff off of my teeth, putting them in little balls, and just dropping them on the floor.
You act, talk, and look like a dirtier person than I think you are.
Uh-huh.
Oh, you really are doing it,
Yeah,
huh? Under the tray, at least. Okay.
Hmm.
So, Bobby, when you were 5 years later, when you went into rehab, was this a choice of yours, or was this what your parents made you do? Did you realize what the problem was? Because that's very young. That's when people are like doing the drugs, not trying to stop.
I think the problem. Listen, all the things I used to do as a young person, all the experiences I had, there was a lot of shame in it. But in retrospect, if I look back, it's all of it had to happen for me to be in the place that I'm at now.
You're happy now?
It's not that I'm happy. I went from being a guy who was I had no motivation to do anything in life. I was always in trouble. I was always either in an institution, getting kicked out of high school, cops, juvie, whatever it might be, and just completely lost. And then when I got sober, I went to junior college, and I used to not even go to class. I used to go to this, they had these little rooms at Palomar College where they had little pianos in there. You could sneak in there and just play all day. I would play there for like 5-6 hours, just play the piano. And I would cry sometimes in there going, what am I going to do with my life? I'm a fucking loser. I have no plan. I have no hopes of making any money. I don't know what to do. And then you're 22. Then you're 23.
Was there anything you wanted to do that was out of your grasp?
Nothing. I was in a couple of bands, I guess, that didn't work out.
Keyboardist?
Yeah. And then I took some improv classes.
Where?
There was a guy named Gary Austin. You know who he is? Gary Austin started a thing called the Groundlings back in the early 70s, in 1971. He also, early SNL, he had a lot to do with that. I don't know what he did, Riot or something. But Gary later just did his own thing, his own classes. And he used to do a class in San Diego. And I used to sign up for it.
How'd you discover improv?
I was in an AA meeting, and there was a guy named F. Scott Collins who was sober, but he was also an actor, and he was also an improviser. So F. Scott Collins said, he was much older than me, and he said, you're a funny guy. You should do this improv class. Gary Austin. And I'm like, I'll try it. So I gave him some money. Gary Austin came in. And then Gary Austin used to have these, I was living in San Diego, and he used to have these classes in Burbank. So I used to, in my early 20s, go to his classes in Burbank. And I met Mindy Cohn from Facts of Life. She was in the class. I remember being completely starstruck by her. Because when you're a kid from San Diego, I have no show business connections at all. So anyone that's ever done anything, you're just like totally excited.
When I first moved here, I saw Ben Stein. I almost lost my shit.
Right. You're right.
Yeah.
When you first move up, you're like, holy shit, I saw that guy in a beef jerky commercial, whatever, and you get excited.
Yeah.
But so I did
Stein
that. I know who he is. So then what else? So then what happened was I was living in San Diego, and I was working at, you know where the La Jolla Comedy Store is?
Of course.
Next to it is a Verizon, I think. But that used to be a coffee shop.
Right, you worked at the coffee shop before the comedy store.
No, but it was a special coffee shop.
What kind of coffee shop?
It was the first coffee shop. Well, first of all, 91X, the radio station, owned it.
Okay.
Secondly, there was a stage in this coffee shop.
I've seen a lot of coffee shops have stages.
Yeah, but we would have Jewel, Frank Black from the Pixies. I mean, big people play there.
Cool.
Okay.
All right.
And it was a CD store, and you could listen to CDs, brand new CDs. So it was a really cool place.
Yeah, that was a spot.
That was a spot. I had orange hair. And what was crazy is, and I believe that everything happens for a reason. I really do. I think everything cosmically just kind of, if you're open to it and you're willing to see a door, if it opens, to walk through it, even though you're scared. So when I was working at that coffee shop.
Do you walk through every door that opens?
No, but I do. I have walked through a lot of doors. So there was this girl named Rebecca Druskin who worked at this coffee shop. Her boyfriend is Mike Carano. Now Mike Carano still works at the Improv in LA. He's like, all those photos you see in the Melrose Improv? Yeah. He took all those photos.
Cool.
Mike Carano. But Mike Carano back then was the manager of the Pacific Beach Improv with Dave Becky.
Sure.
He replaced Dave Becky, actually. Dave Becky is a
power manager.
He manages
for Entourage
Chris
fans.
Rock and
he's
everybody.
The Ari Gold of managing.
So Mike Carano, I knew him then. So I met Brian Regan and a bunch of people through Carano because Carano used to bring...
They all started comedy before you, right?
Yeah. But Carano used to bring people to the coffee shop. So I was already kind of meeting Bobcat Goldthwait and people like that. But then one day, I walked to the coffee shop and it was completely closed. And then next door was a comedy store, and there was a help wanted sign, and I got a job there.
Not to do comedy. What were you doing
I'm
there?
pretty sure that was in the back of my head.
Right.
But I think at the time I'm like, I'll just get a job here. But then immediately after that, I was doing open mics.
What was the job at the comedy store?
I was a bar back at first, and then I became Saturday night doorman. And that's how. See, this is where I started getting hated because I became a doorman there, and then I'm an opportunistic kind of a person.
So you're opening up for guys now.
Well, like, so you're working the door, but then like someone like Rogan, when Rogan
was doing it before you?
Oh yeah, when Rogan was already a headliner. When I started comedy,
What year is this?
This is 95. So in 1995, Rogan was on a show called News Radio.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so I knew him. I knew Mencia.
Right.
I knew Pauly. All those kind of guys.
Yeah.
Dice.
Right.
And
you've been doing it for a year.
And I was in San Diego, and I was able to. So Carlos Mencia's manager was down there once. I got him to sign me.
You
Right.
said you're opportunistic. You said it like a bad thing. It seemed like.
People don't like it. I don't care.
Uh-huh.
I'm just that way.
So
People don't like it.
Don't like it. Are you doing stuff to get in other people's way? Or are you just like?
No, I'm not opportunistic in that way. I'm opportunistic. I would never fuck anybody over. But if I see an opening, even if it's a little opening,
Right.
and sometimes I'll try and it doesn't work.
Sure. Could you
I'll
give me an
talk to
example?
somebody. Well, I'll go up to like an agent back in the day or a manager and go, "Yeah, I'm a comic too. I don't know if you guys are," and they'll just be like, "Nah."
Right.
And you try.
Why do people hate that you do that? Because they don't do that?
I think because they don't. But that's not what it is, though. Here's what it is, though. Ow.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Here's what it is that what they don't realize is that, on stage, I would bring it, right?
Uh-huh.
But then but people in their heads, local comics would be like, "Oh, look at him. He's already a paid regular, or he's already opening for Mencia and Pauly Shore, or all these people, right? And Dice. And he's only been there for a year. He's an opportunistic kind of a guy." But that's not what it is. It's like, no, I'm funny.
Right.
Right? And also, this isn't a hobby. This is everything.
Yeah, you got to steal your bases.
This is how I'm going to feed my parents when they retire. This is how, if I ever have children, I'm going to send them to college. This is what this is.
Have your parents retired?
Yeah. And so my point is that, I didn't go into comedy thinking, I'll try this out. No, I go, this is it. This is the last thing.
Right. You never knew what you wanted to do. This
Until
is the first time in your life you
Right.
finally know what you want. And
Right.
And
then once I found that out, it's like, listen,
you'll do anything for it.
not only that, is if you get in the way of stage time back then, like if I walked up to a comic and I said, "Yo, dude, that coffee shop you play, that guy, can you tell him, that guy that books it, that I'm new but I'm good," or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And if that guy doesn't book me, that guy, right, becomes an enemy. I get that fucked up over like, put me up or you become my enemy.
Huh. Well, this is connected to like you saying you'll do anything to get what you want. You'll suck a dick for things that you told me. You won't tell me what you did it for. But is this the same thing? I'm going to do whatever I want and need in comedy to get what I want, which is...
No, it's not, I never suck dick to get anything comedy. That's just sucking... Ugh.
I didn't... No, I know.
What are you talking about?
I'm saying analogously. The mindset of someone who will suck dick for... Give me an example of what you suck dick for. You can make it up.
Well, okay, all right, let's back up for a second, all right?
Okay.
Let's just talk about the dick sucking,
Great.
okay?
I would love to.
All right. So I was molested
From the
80s
from the man with a Zamboni.
right.
Is it okay to call a Down syndrome person's penis a Zamboner?
No, that's great. We'll call him Zamboner.
Okay.
So Zamboner got me, right? Penetrated me.
I thought you said he didn't
No,
penetrate.
I know, whatever. I'm just kidding.
Oh.
And then after that, what happened was I became an alcoholic right away.
Mm-hmm.
So I started drinking and doing drugs at the age of 11. You know.
That's 3 years later.
Yeah.
Why do you think it took 3 years to find it?
Because I was 8.
When that happened, did you know, at that age, did you know how much trauma that was?
No.
So you're just, oh, I did this thing. That's crazy. You probably didn't tell your family about it, right?
No, because you have to understand, my dad is also an alcoholic. He's also very fucking abusive. Like, I didn't want to even go home sometimes. My dad punched my mom's mouth and took her teeth out. I mean, he's crazy,
my God.
right? So you have to understand that it's not as if, I live with the Cleavers. I live in madness.
Wow.
Okay? So I'm dealing with an alcoholic. Also, I'm not getting good grades in school.
Probably not. Yeah.
No,
Makes
I'm not.
sense.
And so, Koreans, all they want their kids to do is get straight A's to go to college.
Uh-huh.
And I get all F's. So you have to understand, I'm dealing with, Zamboner. I'm dealing with alcoholic dad, I'm dealing with a mom who also is very violent. I'm dealing with being the only Korean kid in Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
Like just feeling like completely different.
Right.
And so then so what happened was I drank early. So when I moved to San Diego, when I was in middle school, I would get drunk and I would just suck guys' dicks. So yeah.
What? What are you talking about?
I don't know.
What do you mean? What do you mean
What
you
do you
get
mean?
drunk and suck their dicks? How did
There
that
was
happen?
There was one guy that can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh.
Your headphones go out?
No, I can hear myself. There was one guy that I would go to like these parties in middle school, and he would just literally pull my head down, like he would pull me into like behind a tree, and just go suck my dick like that. Yeah, no,
Man, you had it tough, dude.
I would do it, and then because
What was the face you made? Show me again.
like that. So when I say I suck dick, I did it when I was a kid.
How old is this now?
It probably ended when I was like 14.
Is this a 2-year run?
I wouldn't say run.
Well, I think that
It's
any
not
period.
a play. It's not a play.
I think any period of time that you're sucking guys' dicks when you don't want to, where that has a start and a stop point.
No. It's not that I didn't want to. It's
Okay.
that I did it I did it because, I was molested, and then I was highly sexual, and then also on top of it, the third component is that, if I look like Chris D'Elia,
What does that mean?
Well, I just know that someone like Chris probably never had a problem getting girls.
Oh, you're saying that Chris is a good-looking guy.
Yeah,
He's tall.
Right,
and he
right.
has-
He also has a good upbringing, like his
Right.
dad's,
Yeah.
Bill. You know that Bill. It's a good family.
Sure.
And I
What's
just
the
had a
comparison
fucked up,
what's the point that you're bringing up? That
because
you
I couldn't
weren't
get
good
girls.
looking?
I couldn't get girls,
So you needed to explore your
and
sexual...
I was highly sexual. So I just did it. I don't
Right.
know why. I
This-
don't know.
Now,
But I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Okay, all right. So now, coffee shop. Stage time.
Yeah, that's it.
And then cut to... It was 1995? So 24 years
95,
later.
and then so then here's what happened though. So, but also check this out though. I never got any girls
Sure.
at all.
And you tried.
Yeah, but I would go to Adelita.
What is that? Is that a massage parlor?
No. Adelita is a club in Mexico. It's a world famous like brothel.
Right. Was that the first time you had sex with a woman? Was in a brothel?
Yeah.
How old?
I was 17. And that was, I can't say his name. So this is so fucking funny what I'm about to say because it's so funny what I'm about to say because when I got my first prostitute,
Mm-hmm.
I can't say his name because so basically what happened was there was this old Japanese man, okay, who I worked for. I can't say his name. And he owned a bunch of farms. I used to chop corn. I don't know if you know this.
No.
Yeah, I used to chop corn and sell his corn from his farm at a farmer's market. So on the weekends, I'd have to wake up at like 5 fucking in the morning. Right. This is when after I got sober when I was 17.
So you're sober now.
So I'm sober. I'm a junior in high school.
Right.
And now I'm chopping corn.
Right.
So this dude, right, he took me to a brothel when I was 17. But then I said his name on a podcast like a couple years ago.
Uh-huh.
And he called me, this old Japanese man. And he goes, "Hey, do you remember me?" I go, "Yeah."
You recognized his voice?
Yeah, I knew his voice because he gave me a job back then.
Okay.
Working on his farm. He goes, "Did you talk about me, about the brothel?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "I'm a youth minister now." He's a minister of youth at a church. And he's also on the city council.
Right.
And he's got children and all that. So I got in very big trouble.
Did you take that podcast down?
No.
That's mean.
I said I just wouldn't do it again. I'm not going to fucking take a podcast down with thousands and thousands and thousands of downloads.
All right.
Anyway.
So
what's up?
Yeah, man.
We did it. We're doing it, huh?
Yeah, I want to tell you the story that I remember. That's literally a shit bag you just pulled out of your pocket.
No.
We were at Dupar's. When I first started stand-up, I became friends with... Bobby, are you sleeping?
When I close my eyes to listen.
Okay. I first made friends with headliners because I'd play basketball with them. I became friends with Dalia, and through Dalia, I became friends with Jim Brown.
Who's Jim Brown?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to cut all that because I was seeing if you were listening to me.
Dude, when I'm closing my eyes, that's when you have...
That's the most disrespectful...
That's when you have me the most.
Way to listen to somebody. Your listening face is literally sleeping.
No, when I close my eyes and I'm listening to every word you're saying, that means I'm really serious.
Okay.
If I'm looking at you right now, I'm nodding my head, that means I'm 90% out.
I understand the idea of that if you're being honest with me.
What do you want from me? You want me to be real or not?
Yeah.
Well, then tell your fucking thing. I'm going to close my eyes and listen.
Okay. I went to Dupar's with you, Dalia, and some other comedians. I don't remember who any of them are because at the time I was only friends with Chris. I had gone a few places with you, and you always paid for it. You always paid. And you left right away. This was at a time where, by the way, keep your eyes closed. It's just I'm feeling myself not being completely present. This is confusing for me, the way I'm telling the story. But that's why I'm speaking probably a bit slower. So I'm going to trim all the fat because this is very hard for me.
Don't have to trim anything. This is great.
We had gone
hurry the fuck up.
We had gone a few times. You always paid. And then you gave me a couple $100 bills because there was like 10 of us. And you said, "Here, go pay for this." And I didn't understand your intention, and I felt taken advantage of in a weird way. That,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
I've never edited out a story in a podcast before.
No. You have to keep that there.
But
because can I say something about that story?
Yeah,
that was literally. I'm not lying, and I'm not. There's no filter going on right now. That was the worst story. Mm-hmm. I've ever.
There's so many more pieces, but your eyes were closed.
I've ever heard in my fucking life, and literally, because I thought, this story is gonna. It's gonna.
No,
it's
I
gonna
got self-conscious.
It never happened.
I got self-conscious during
it. Never happened, that story, and
yeah.
I almost left. That was fucking bullshit.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
So get real, dude.
Dude,
get real right now. Dude, get real right now, because dude, you're fucking around right now. Get real, dude.
All right.
You make it happen.
All right. Check out this story.
No, are you being real?
Yeah, all of these are real.
Have it that's good.
All right.
Have it good, dude.
Check this out.
Right.
I've never had a three-way. Always wanted one.
Oh my God.
Always wanted a three-way.
Yeah.
I had two opportunities, both of which I got scared and I turned it down.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of been talking to this girl who has a half sister, right? And sorry, while I'm starting, I want to pull up this picture. Got it. Okay. So she has a half sister, and they like are I FaceTime when I talk on the phone. I usually FaceTime. So I'm FaceTiming with her, and her sister's now in town, and they're like being silly with me, and they're like, ooh, and they're grabbing each other's boobs. And it's like, well, I don't know if this is a turn on because you guys are related, but also you're cute and blah, 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 blah. Anyway, I never ended up having a three-way with them.
You know who you remind me? I just realized who you were in the comedy world.
I want to show you this picture, though, of the FaceTime. Look at my face.
That's amazing.
Isn't that funny?
That's real?
Yeah.
Do you want me to show you my penis and you describe to your friends
Yes.
what it looks like?
Yes. 100%.
Might as well.
Keep in mind that camera's on the wide,
I know.
so just turn away. Also, I could blur it.
No.
Scoop D, cut for quality.
Oh, yeah. Bobby, this is sexual harassment.
Oh, it is?
This is sexual harassment.
My bad. This is the weirdest podcast I've ever done. What is wrong with me? Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Oh, you're right? That's my bad, dude. Hey, dude, that's my bad.
It's okay.
It's okay. Everything's fine. Anyway.
So they've... Your penis is...
Don't.
Oh. I was going to give you a compliment.
Oh, go ahead.
I wasn't.
Oh, man. That's hurtful.
Dude, it's crazy. I've known you for so long.
Yeah.
I like you so much. When you come to they say the Comedy Store, that's usually the club I see you at. Chemicals enter my dopamine comes in my body.
Yeah.
And you enter and you exit the same way. I don't know when it's going to happen. You literally left me in the middle of a conversation last night.
Yeah.
I don't know you.
I don't know you either.
And I've seen so much of you.
I know. It's just the vessel.
Right.
Yeah.
But I didn't just mean literally your penis. I mean, I've heard so many stories. I've been around you so many times.
Yeah. You still don't know me.
We've had a couple of serious conversations.
Yeah.
1, 2, but it was the same. I remember one conversation that we had, and it was about me in the Comedy Store.
Yeah.
And it was the only time you did no bits, which I do the same thing.
Yeah.
It's the only time I had that experience with you. And we sat down on the stairs at the Comedy Store, and you gave me such good advice that you have the headphones for you.
It tuned out some of it, but no, that's better.
Okay, yeah. You gave me advice that I actually repeated to my mom the other day before I even ran into you. Coincidentally, we're doing this now.
She's a tight box, your mom. She's a tight piece of fucking work. So. It's like it's never been used.
Stop it. Stop. I don't like talking about that kind of stuff. So stop it.
About what?
If my mom's not here to talk about her
I was just kidding.
sexual
Take it
stuff, then she can't.
Take it out.
I don't take anything out.
Go say what you're gonna say, man.
All right.
About who you don't know me. This you know me. What?
Who gives a shit about that? I want to tell you about the story that I liked with you.
Okay, go ahead.
The Comedy Store, the booker at the Comedy Store doesn't like what I do. I think that's a political way of. I don't want to speak poorly of anybody,
Okay,
right?
Let me get this clear. This is something I want to address.
Okay.
You got me back in you got me back, my juices revved up again. Okay. It has nothing to do with who you are or your talent.
Well, it has to do with my stand-up.
It has not even that. What it is stylistically, right? It just may not fit in a comedy club environment. What you do on stage. What you do on stage, right, is either going to destroy or not. There's no guarantee with your act because you're so, experimental and and different out there every time that it's like, and I've seen you, you're great. You got everything. But I think that's what, you're not one of those guys where he's going to kill every time.
Okay.
Go ahead, finish yours.
So I talked to you, and you were going to talk to him for me, and then nothing came from it. And I appreciate and remember that you did that. I've never asked anybody to do that before, and for some reason I felt comfortable and with you, and you did. Mm-hmm. But you told me afterwards that everybody has, and this is bigger than the Comedy Store and me. Everybody has their obstacles, and you told me about certain clubs that you were doing and certain clubs that you were exclusive at and certain things that were tough for you to do. And basically what I took from it was you said the Comedy Store is yours. Some people can't get on television shows. Some people can't do late night sets. Some people can't get representation. Some people can't do that. Everybody has a thing they can't do. Your obstacle, my obstacle, is the Comedy Store. And I've never felt entitled to anything in comedy, but I do feel I deserve to be there. You do. Two things. One, I appreciate your honesty and I understand what you're saying. But secondly, I don't think you've seen me in a while. I still, stand-up is so hard for me. I don't quite understand what this really is. But over the past 3+ years, I've gotten to a point where I've been doing this for 12 years now. I just started saying, I'm good at this. I'm not ready to, if someone offered me a special, I wouldn't take it. I don't want people to buy tickets to the Rick Glassman show right now, but I would love to. I love doing it, and I want people to see me. That just started happening. I never invited people before. So some defensive part of me needed to say that wasn't part of the story. What was the part then? I think I'm feeling, I think I'm triggered right now. I think I'm feeling a little emotional.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
How many times have you done Montreal?
5.
This is the first year I'm doing it.
Right. Right, the obstacles. I remember what it was.
So my point is that I just did a room last weekend in Madison, Wisconsin.
Right.
And I looked at the walls and the people that performed there. Every single person that's a friend of mine who's working today has played there for years. And it's my first time at this great club in Madison. And so in my head, I'm like, I could go either way. I can go, well, you're a fucking loser. Now you're doing Montreal. Now you're, or, it's just happening in my own time. I have a lot of, I think that I'm the funniest of my type in the world.
Mm-hmm. What's your type?
I think I'm going to say this out loud. And this is probably 100% not real. It's definitely not real.
Okay.
But in my head, I believe I'm the funniest Asian guy on earth. I do believe that. So when I see other Asian dudes, I'm very supportive and I'm happy for their success. But still deep down inside, I think I'm way better in every way.
Yeah.
But, the world doesn't see me that way. A lot of casting directors, a lot of directors and producers would never even say that. And I'm probably not, it's not true at all in any kind of way, but I believe that. And yet, there's just certain things that I'll never get invited to, and there's just certain things that I'll never be able to do. And that's just the business.
That was I was younger. I was mid-20s when you said that to me. That was the first time I've used that perspective. It's so many. That was the first time I feel that way. I mean, that's why I was saying I don't feel entitled to the Comedy Store. I want to be there. It's a goal of mine, but it's fine.
Yeah.
I don't have the resentment that I think I would have had we not had that conversation 8 years ago.
Yeah.
And I remember that conversation. I remember it was like that, a perspective shift for me of recognizing, because I'm used to getting what I want in different ways than you, I guess.
Yeah.
Like as a kid, when I wanted stuff, I would burn Dragon Ball Z VCDs and sell them on eBay and buy and sell Magic the Gathering cards so I could get the DVD player and the Matrix. Like whenever I wanted something, I would buy and sell stuff, wait in line for the Wii, whatever it was.
Yeah.
I wanted a few things and I always got them.
Yeah.
So I want to do stand up and I started doing it. And then there's this, it's not even the Comedy Store. I have a hard time with stand up, and the way I find that people are very, very kind to me, or people will not even want me around. There's not much middle ground there.
It's so funny that you say that. I love what you know what? You're right. I'm going to say something to you.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you apply to this. And I'm the same way. Okay? You know what Mitzi Shores once said to me? She goes, I was in Vegas with her. It was in the late 90s. And I was there opening for Pauly, and Mitzi was there. And one day we're at, like, having lunch. And she just kind of turns to me. She goes, you know, what makes a superstar in comedy? I go, what? Half the audience has to hate you, and half the audience has to love you at the same time. I've always had that kind of reaction where people like either love me or they don't like me at all, right? And I used to view that as some sort of weakness, or I'm not talented. No, I believe what Mitzi said, that it makes you interesting. Because that's why when people on the internet, I read comments, and they go, that Bobby Lee is so not funny. How the fuck is he work? You know what I mean? You read things, but people will talk about me like the same person for years and how they hate me. But they know my name. They know all the things I've done.
Howard Stern talked about this once. I remember.
Oh, really?
Years ago, when his show was on E. I don't know, when I was in high school. I just saw Private Parts movie. And even in the movie, there was a thing that the people who love you, they listen to you this much, and the people who hate you listen to you, and they're waiting for a smaller number, and it's a bigger number.
Yeah.
The people who hate you listen to you even more, and just how engaging that he was to whatever it was.
Yeah. So I don't really, with you're the same way. People either love you. I'm talking about your skill and what you present, right? I get you. That's why I'm here.
Thank you so much.
Okay? I believe that you are going to... I think that you're like the Jeff Goldblum of comedy.
I've been saying that for...
No, I'm being real.
For a while.
You have his vibe to me.
Because I look like him a little bit?
No, not even look. It's even the way you explain things, and you have that kind of playfulness. You remind me of him. But, yeah, I think you have a big future. That's why I'm here.
You're here because you think you have a big future? What could I do later if I end up having a big future and I become very successful? What could I do for you?
Well,
to give you an opportunity. If
you were a lead in a movie,
right?
Give me a part, a good part.
Right.
That's all I want.
All you want is good parts in movies.
You know what goes a long way with me, dude? I was in Hawaii. I was doing Adam Sandler's movie a month ago with David. He's producing a David Spade movie.
Mm-hmm. That's my buddy wrote that.
I had one line, but they flew me out there for one line. But I love David and I love Ad. I love the whole group. I'll do anything for them. I really would.
Okay.
But I was at the restaurant in the hotel the first night I got there because I didn't really know. Like David was working, and anyway, I was eating by myself. And there was a big group of people there from Magnum PI, which is a show.
Sure.
But there's a guy named Gein he's an actor, but he's also a writer, and I think he's like either showrunner or head writer of that show. But he's this Asian dude, and Gein goes, "Hey," and I go, "What's up?" Like I had met him before. He vaguely, remember. We talked a little bit, and then he said, "Dude, you want to do Magnum PI?" And I just said, "Yeah, I'll do it." He goes, "I'm going to write you a good part."
Really?
Yeah. And so then last week, I got a call, 2 episodes. He did it.
That's
right?
amazing.
Right. My point, though, is that I don't know why I went into the story, but...
because you're talking about if I become successful, what I could do for you.
No, what I'm saying is that all I want is people to say, "Hey, I'm going to do this," and then them do it.
Both of those things. Because the first one is nothing without the second one.
Right.
But the first one is the most important. You want them to do things for you.
No, I want somebody to say what they're going to do something and then go through with it.
So yeah, right. You
right?
want people
so
who are...
all I want you to do is whatever you would do for me, just do it. That's all.
Okay.
You're going to clean this up because there's some weird shit in here.
Yeah, I'm gonna clean it up. But
Be real though.
Yeah, this is gonna end up being probably 15 minutes.
No. Over an hour. There's some great stuff in here.
I do want to talk to you about podcasts for a sec because I am new to it and you are not.
You know what it is? It's like
it's just content to you then.
It's not that. It's the funniest thing. I met Kalila, my girlfriend, on Tinder many years ago. And she was a nurse and she lived in Long Beach. She had nothing to do with show business. She had never done a podcast before. We met, we started dating, we fell in love, we became a couple. And then one day she said, you should do a podcast to me. And I go, I'll never do one. I have no interest. Why? Mm-hmm. So she went to Guitar Center and bought equipment to do one for herself. She was going to do an all-girl podcast. And she set it up. She was doing it in her room for a couple of weeks by herself. And I felt a bit guilty. So I started doing it with her.
Guilty that you weren't doing it or that you weren't helping her?
Yeah, because she was doing it by herself, and I can tell that she wanted me to do it.
So she's not a nurse anymore?
So I started doing it with her. But what...
Is she still nursing?
No.
Okay.
That's all she does for a living.
I meant at this when she first started the podcast.
Yeah, she was a nurse.
Right.
And it reinvented my career.
Yeah. How so?
It tripled my road audience on the road.
Oh, because of exposure.
It's not the exposure. I think the same people like knew me before. It's just that it I don't know what it is, but the fans of my podcast are far more loyal.
Yeah.
Right?
Cool.
They know me more. And when I see them at my shows, it's not surface. It really is like it gets emotional. Like people will come up to me and go, yeah, people go, you told me that story or that person, you know.
Huh.
And it's really more of a personal journey for me. And so, you know, as soon as my TigerBelly started going, I could see, you know, I got Love and I got the sitcom splitting up together, and I'm getting huge film auditions now that I never used to get. All right. So it's opened up my world. It's also on top of it. Also, you can make a living just strictly doing it. Like when I'm making monthly, more just on my podcast pays for my mortgage.
Yeah.
So my point is that you might think that this is obsolete or
not. I love it.
I know. I honestly
I hate the editing.
I know you do, and I think that you could do it as a living.
All right. But before you go.
No, I gotta go.
No, there's one thing you have to do before you go. I have all my guests to do it. You look like a fighter right now. Oh man. Fuck, dude. This is
Go do it. Ask me.
I don't really have anything. I'm stalling to find an out. Don't you understand how this shit works? All right? Dude, I'm going to have to cut from 45 minutes ago to now.
No, you don't.
And your pot.
No, you don't.
People are going to want to listen to this. People are going to
there's so
listen to
many
this.
good things in
Do
here.
you think that you think this is a good podcast?
I think you and I could do one once a week.
Will you do a weekly podcast with me?
There's no way.
Really?
Yeah, because if I were going to do one, Santino wants to do one with me.
Okay. But also, what does that have to do with doing one with me?
I can't do 3 fucking podcasts.
Okay.
That's all. Anyway, really good to see you. When does this come out?
I don't know.
Never, right?
I mean,
is there a chance where it might not come out?
if you tell me not to post it. Other than that, I'll put it out probably in the next few weeks.
Okay.
Maybe month.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for having me, man. This was the most this podcast. I had the highest highs, and I had the lowest lows.
Yeah, me too. I'll have to agree with you.
Much like how Mitzi would describe
It was at times I'm like, wow, we're really connecting.
Yeah.
And at times it's like, I'm lost. I want to leave. Fuck
Right.
this guy. All that stuff.
Oh, really? It's
Yeah.
not just that you're lost, but it's also fuck this guy.
Yeah, I just didn't like it at all. And like, why am I here?
Do you think we could get better at it?
Yeah, I think maybe we could do it again and do it better.
You mean instead of this?
Yeah.
No, I like this.
You do?
I do. I like it a lot. Yeah, I like it a lot.
Okay. Do you even know what you're doing?
You're like a hot girl that I'm not sexually attracted to.
Good. Because
like I want
if
you.
I was a woman,
I want you,
know how
but
annoying it would be to fuck you.
That is
You're
not
so
true.
needy.
That is not true.
So desperate, like it's like an open wound of sadness.
Fuck, if that's what I'm selling, I'm embarrassed.
Yeah, you're selling garbage.
I'm embarrassed
Yeah,
if you're
you
right.
should.
If you're right.
You should.
And I'm open to the idea you might be right.
Yeah?
I don't think you are.
Yeah.
No.
Ask Tightbox.
Are you talking about my mom?
No.
Then who's Tightbox?
I don't know.
Because you said my mom's Tightbox and I asked you not to do that again.
Throwing it out. But it's a tight situation. It's fresh. Even though you don't think it is, when you enter, you're like, oh my God, is that young? Yeah, it's not young. It's good.
You're not the meanest person I know.
I love it.
But you say the meanest things of all my friends.
I don't see mean things. You know, I'm going to say this. If you were in Auschwitz or wherever back in the day when they were doing that kind of stuff, that you would have survived.
You saying I would have or would not
I
have?
think you would have.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I think
because you're a rat. The Feingolds, they're hiding in the cave.
Man, why am I taking this so personally? That's
and the Germans are like, are you sure? You're like, yeah, but can I live?
Now they're in the cave, and so we're in a camp surrounded by a fence. Where's the cave? What cave? Do you know what the Holocaust was? Do you know what a concentration camp is?
Yeah. What I'm saying is that it's like the Feingolds escaped the concentration camp. They dig a hole.
Right.
But they told you where they were hiding.
Why didn't I go with them?
Because you were like, you knew that you were going to rat them out.
I stayed just to rat them out.
Right.
I could have gotten away from them.
Yeah. So you ratted them out. That's who you are. And that's not a bad or good person. That's just who you are.
Why do you think that about me?
I got to go.
Do you want me to take you home?
Would you going to call me Uber?
I could.
Is it too expensive?
No. I could.
Okay, drive me home then.
I'll drive you home.
Yeah, I need it. Can you stop by 7-Eleven though? I need to get refreshments.
Yeah, do you need some? You need that, what's that candy? A dipstick? They had those at 7-Eleven. I thought that's what you were saying. Do you want one of those?
No, I don't want those.
All
and
right.
that, you know what? That caused me a lot of trauma.
Dude, you've been saying to me
that
I would rat out my Jewish brothers.
That caused me a lot of trauma, and I'm going to let you have that one, but watch your fucking mouth.
Dude, I need a positive ending. So,
all right.
So
let's do this one.
Will you come sit on the couch next to me?
No.
Okay. Could you look to camera?
All right. You want me to?
Yeah, like how your instinct is to say no until you realize there's a bit. Stop it. No. Go back to the couch. Go back to the chair. No. Go back to the chair. No, go back to the chair. Is that how you handle confrontation? Is that what you do in your life when people are doing things you don't want them to?
This podcast is going to be banned from...
If you were teaching a dog how to sit and it wasn't sitting,
cut all that out.
Would you put your penis in its face?
You got to cut all that out, man.
I'm not cutting it out.
You got to cut that out. That's ridiculous what I'm doing.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous.
We're just doing it as a gift, for a laugh.
No, there were no laughs.
That's nothing.
All right. Dude, thank you so much for coming over and being a real people. I love you. And I think you're great, and I think that it's good that you found the podcast. So now people could hear you talk.
Anyway, really congratulations on your podcast. Congratulations on living here. Congratulations on all the things you've done. Congratulations on...
Are you feeling down too?
No, I'm a little depressed right now.
What's going on? You know what I think it is? I think I just figured out what it is.
What is it? I
think that we both mirror energies a bit, and we both are depressive people. And I think that that's why the highs are so high, because when we have those, one of us has that wave, that dopamine rush or a little oxytocin connection, we share it, and then it depletes twice as fast because we're both using it. Kind of how laughter is contagious.
Yeah, that's it.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in to Take Your Shoes Off podcast with Rick Glassman. My name is Rick Glassman. Thank you so much. Are you playing music like the way in Sopranos so they Microphones can't pick anything up.
No.
All right, man. I don't know how I'm gonna edit this. No, the shoes. Come on, Bobby.
Are you being real?
Yeah, I'm being
my
serious.
bad.
Take your shoes off the rug.
My bad.
The podcast is called "Take Your Shoes Off."
What would you care? Get the fuck. Get your shit together. Let's go. You gonna drive me?
Again, thank you so much for tuning in to Take Your Shoes Off podcast.
Drive
My
me.
name is Rick Glassman. We'll see you next week.
Scoot doo, blabbity blue. Scoot